Let me give you a quick story about how to establish your startup business credit, even if you don't have income. If you cannot verify income, in other words, you don't generate enough revenue, but you want to establish business credit. Let's talk about that. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So one thing first, it's really important to understand that if you have a startup, it doesn't matter if you're a single member LLC, a multi-member SC, a single member S corporation, C corporation, doesn't really matter. You need to actually segregate your personal credit from your business credit. The reason is that if you're trying to actually get credit in the long run, you want to have proper business credit. It doesn't matter if you are currently at 750 or 800 in your FICO score. If you keep on using your personal credit to get business credit, there will be a point where you'll have a very difficulty in finding a lender who can lend you, let's say, $1 million or $10 million, because your business needs financing to grow. But if you are attaching your personal credit to your business credit, you're now going to be able to grow very properly. So you want to establish business credit right off the bat. Okay, so it doesn't matter. And today's conversation, I'll explain to you how to do that. Even if you don't have a revenue, even if you don't want to verify income, you can still make things happen. Okay, so by the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here to have a quick conversation with you about how to establish startup business credit with no income verification. One thing I want to say here is that you want to separate your personal credit from your business credit also, because see, the thing is, if you have a business, you don't want to focus the business's entire future around the personality of the founder. Because if something happened, if that founder were to get sick, or God forbid something happens to them and he or she passed away, you don't want to actually have the whole business being in peril because one person is just out of the picture. No, you want to establish a business that has a going concern. That's what we call it in finance, a going concern. So going concern means what? This business is viable. Okay, so the reason why you want to establish this separation between business credit and personal credit, because you are trying to establish a going concern. So it's important, if you're a startup business, to actually try to build business credit, whether you have revenue or no revenue, whether you have income or no income. Now, let me explain to you the steps I want you to follow right now if you are trying to build business credit with no income verification. In other words, you're not generating enough revenue to sort of verify your income. Okay. Now, first thing first, you want to incorporate your business, or you want to organize your business. I don't care if you are an LLC, if you're an S corporation, C corporation. You need to verify. You need to make sure that your business is legit. You know, it's kind of funny. It's unbelievable the number of people who believe they have a business, and then when you start digging, you realize they don't have a business. Like, they have a business, but the business is non-compliant. A legit business means that your business is legit vis-a-vis the authorities, the state authorities. See, when we talk about businesses, when we talk about LLC, when we talk about S corporation, when we talk about C corporation, those things are organized or incorporated at the state level. So any business that you have must be formed at the state level. Nothing happens at the federal level. Federal level, you only pay attention to business licenses and permits, as well as taxes. But the formation process happens at the state level. So if you're telling me that you have a legit business, and if a lender goes to see whether or not you have, because every state has a platform whereby you can just type a business name, whatever, and you can see whether the business is in good standing. And I want you to do right now. I want you to do it right now. After you're done with the show, just go type your own business name in that on that platform in your state platform, and see whether or not you are in good standing. So there are some criteria that every company must actually follow to be in good standing, including filing having a certificate of good standing, like getting that from the state. Also filing your annual reports, paying your sales, actually filing the sales tax reports with the authorities. So you're having the proper business licenses and permits. So you do have a series of things. So the very first thing is you need to incorporate or form your business. You need to also obtain an EIN. Okay, if you're trying to establish your business credit, even if you have no income, you cannot verify income, you still need to have your EIN, your employer identification number. You can get it manually. You can file the paperwork manually, like in the regular mail, there is something called Form SS4. So if you file that with the IRS, they get back to you. It's a little longer though. The faster alternative is just to do it online. You can apply online for an EIN. They'll get back to you real quick, and that's it. The third thing I want you to do, boss, third thing I want you to do here is to open a business bank account. By the way, boss, we're having a conversation about how to establish startup business credit without income verification, okay? You need to open a bank account. I don't care, listen, people say, well, I'm trying to build business credit. I'm trying to have a net 30 account. I'm trying to have a net 30 vendor account. I'm trying to get a credit card. I'm trying to get a business loan, but I don't have a business bank account. Boss, how can you get a business loan from a bank or a credit union if you don't have a bank account? How can you get a business loan from an alternative lender if you don't have a bank account? Where would they send the money to? Like imagine, hypothetically, they approved you, right? They approve your ass. Okay. Where would they send the money? Answer that question. So the thing is, at some point, you got to really ask yourself, how do I find, like, what's the best way for me to open a business bank account? It doesn't matter if you have had some histories, some kind of problems in the past with your check systems, and so your ass is a little like, is on the red list. It's just like you have been red flagged. Okay, but you got to find ways to actually fix that problem. You got to find ways to actually fix that derogatory items, because you cannot build business credit if you have a check system mark. It's impossible. It's impossible. In the last 40 years, we have never seen a business do it, especially a startup business who's trying to build business credit. Okay, so you want to fix that. So you want to open a business bank account, and ideally, you want to open the bank account at the same institution where you currently have a personal bank account. That way, you actually consolidate all your relationships with the same bank. It has its pros and cons, though, but for the most part, it has more advantages. Okay, try to also have try to establish a business phone number. You need to have that. I mean, nowadays everybody has a cell phone, blah blah blah, but you still need to have a landline whereby lenders can call you, investors can call you, regulators can call you, authorities can call you. If there's any problem, you need to have an official line whereby people can just contact you for official business. The next thing I want you to do here is to open a business credit file. This is really important. Okay, so when we talk about opening a business credit file, you need to actually basically contact Experian. You need to contact Equifax. You need to contact Dun & Bradstreet, and basically, you have to. So the way it works is that you have to go online, and there is a form where you just enter your information. Because see, for Dun & Bradstreet, you basically need to have a DUNS number. For Experian and Equifax, you basically tell them, hey, listen, I have a business, and basically I want you to open a credit file with me, a credit file for me. Okay, so that way you can start tracking your business credit scores. So open a business credit file, and then you want to obtain a business credit card. I mean, one or two, it doesn't really matter, but two, at least two. That's really good. Now, where do you get a business credit card if you are a startup and you cannot verify income? How do you do that? Well, first thing first, you want to start at the very financial institution where you're currently at. Okay, if you are with the bank, you want to see if the bank has a business credit card, and if that bank can actually not only open your business bank account for you, but also give you a business credit card. Usually banks can do that. If you have a good relationship with them, they can actually give you a business credit card. Now, the limits might not really high, but you can get something. And the cool thing is it will be an unsecured business credit card. Okay, they can start you with 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000. Don't be mad at the very small limit. No, you want to start somewhere. You want to build your credit really, really up gradually. By the way, boss, I want to quickly once again remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to establish startup business credit without income verification. And so when I'm talking about obtaining business credit cards, see, the thing is, in this economy, it's very complicated to get a business credit card, especially if you have a startup. A lot of banks are kind of scared as hell. When you are a startup, a lot of credit unions don't even talk about it. Everybody's scared, right? And you don't have a lot of players. You don't have alternative lenders who actually provide credit cards, because credit cards actually require more sophistication than business loans, for example. So you need to actually start where you are currently known. So you want to start at the very bank where you currently maintain bank accounts. That way you can increase your chances of being approved. Okay, and try to have at least two. And usually you can have a cashback business credit card, or you can have also a balance transfer business credit card. So this could be fine also. The next thing I want you to do, if you are trying to establish startup business credit without income verification, is to actually establish a line of credit with vendors or suppliers. See, the thing is that everything I'm telling you, like opening a business credit file, you don't need to verify income. Obtaining a business credit card from your bank, you don't need to verify income, because if you already have the relationship with them, you can actually just parlay that relationship and getting the business credit card that you need. When you establish a line of credit with vendors or suppliers, what they need from you is basically they want to have a business plan. They want to have financial projections. They want to have other things that do not revolve around showing actual numbers for your revenue. Okay, so you want to open 1 or 2 or 3 net 30 accounts in the sectors where, like, you want the net 30 accounts to be around the things that you buy the most, the thing that your business will buy the most. Okay, I mean, if you're a startup, you certainly have a lot of expenses, business expenses, office supplies, okay, little pieces of equipment here and there. So there are a lot of players out there, including Granger, including Uline, including Quill. And those are players that will approve you real fast, not a problem at all if you're a startup, and they can help you actually start building business credit. They will open net 30, net 45, net 60 accounts for you, and you can start building credit that way, building business credit. And again, before you know it, you will certainly get time to actually boost your credit and really start making start really having low APR on other products and services, credit products and services. By the way, and the next thing you want to do is you want to pay your bills on time. Okay, see, don't actually underestimate any bill. Even if it's $2, even if it's $20, you want to pay your bills on time, because it's all about consistency. Please never be late. Okay, if you get a credit card, or if you have a line of credit with vendors or suppliers, you want to be at least three days in advance. At least for us, the best is if the lender tells you to pay your bill by the 30th of the month, pay your bill around the 27th. Pay your bills around the 27th or the 26th. That way you have 2 or 3 days leeway where you can just say, you can just chill. Something happens, you are covered. Okay, so this is important. I want to give you a bonus here, and the thing here is that if you're trying to establish startup business credit without income verification, you want to actually establish utilities and phone accounts. So the whole thing here is that you want to actually, like right now you're probably paying your phone bill, you're probably paying your business internet, you're probably paying things like gas, or you're paying things like water for your business. If you do, why don't you just transform those payments into trade lines? And all you have to do is just to contact the vendor and ask them to report your data. Ask them first if they would report your data to the credit bureaus, and if yes, then this is really fine. Okay, so don't look really far. Sometimes the solution is just right in front of you here. So, but again, just make sure that whatever you do, all the things I'm telling you, make sure that you register for a Dun & Bradstreet number. Though you gotta have the DUNS number, because the DUNS number will kind of help you out in terms of tracking your credit score. And so the thing here is that if you're not able to secure credit immediately, make sure that it is a process. Make sure to remember it is a process, and that make sure that you're doing as much as you can when you can on the personal level, so that when you're ready, you actually can beef up your credit on the business level. And the thing is, when we talk about startup business credit, remember that it also depends on the type of business that you have. If you have, let's say, for example, a multi-member LLC or a multi I would say multi-stakeholder or multi-shareholder C corporation, you have a lot of people who are part of the corporation, right, the company. And the question is, what is their credit scores? What are their credit scores? Their respective credit scores, because this could have an impact on the business credit score, at least at the beginning. Okay, so this is important to think about, and also think about working with the SBA and partner lenders. I mean, you could get a business loan, a small business loan, or a small business credit card, or small business, not a credit card, small business, not a credit, real fast if you work with an SBA or SBA preferred lender. Okay, and this will help you down the road. So this is really, really important. I want to give you a few pro tips here, and I want to really explain to you that when we talk about having business credit or establishing business credit, even if you have no income, if you do not want to verify income, there are benefits associated with having perfect credit on the business side. Okay, now you can position your company for more favorable payment terms with new vendors and suppliers. You can reduce the number of times you will need to prepay for products or services purchased. And you're also able to obtain better interest rates and credit from lenders and banks. So the bottom line here is that you have a constellation of benefits that will really actually propel your startup to the next level. Okay, and it doesn't matter, again, once again, you don't have to verify your income. No, you need to have a business plan. Yes. You need to have financial projections. Yes. You need to actually maybe collateralize the kind of loan you get. Yes. Maybe you want to start at the very bank where you're currently at. Okay, so those are 4 things that you can actually try right now to make sure you are basically you're getting the kind of credit you need from the kind of persons you actually want. And the bottom line here is that just make sure that your bank reports, your net 30 vendors, whoever you're dealing with. Okay, and those are your lenders. Make sure they actually report to the right credit bureaus, right? They have to report to Dun & Bradstreet. They have to report to Experian, Equifax, and they have to report to Equifax, because otherwise, if you just do everything, okay, and the bank does not report to the business credit bureaus, this would have been a waste of time. And you need to understand that if you have a startup and you're trying to establish business credit, it's just very complicated, very complicated. You saw that especially if you don't generate revenue, then the lender and lend you, for that matter, they start paying attention to little things like, okay, can you actually reach these goals? Can you actually meet this? Like, it becomes a problem. This is why you want to have a better credit, like a better credit score, so that you can get that respect right off the bat. So this is really important. Another thing I want to say to close to this conversation is that it's not about business credit all the time. It's about also your liquidity level, your financial inflows versus your financial outflows, right? So if you have, let's say you actually are making good money and you happen to have this sort of a mindset, is this really good for you? Not really. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. To this conversation, I was just quickly talking to you about how to establish startup business credit without income verification. I give you the overview, the steps, the bonus, and the pro tips. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.